Today's Namaste Yoga is part of a brand new series on cultural conditioning, and we're going to be doing a restorative class. Hello and welcome to episode 171 of Namaste Yoga. We have an audio testimonial to start with today from Barbara, a yoga teacher who takes Namaste Yoga into her classroom.
Hey, Dr. West. I'm Barbara. I'm a yoga instructor in Nashville, Tennessee, and I just love your website. I've referred so many people to your website, and I constantly reference it to see what you're doing that's new, and I learned so much from you as a student and as a teacher, and just wanted to say thanks. Yeah, I'm going to sign off the same way I do in all of my classes, so be patient with you. You're patient with everybody else. Make sure you get your turn.
Thank you to Barbara for your testimonial. And we know that a lot of yoga teachers watch Namaste Yoga, take the teachings into their classroom, and that is why we created the continuing education course for yoga teachers. And we have another course starting on May the 1st. So if you would like to deepen your teaching, we have a brand new Open Your Heart to Yoga Pedagogy series starting on May the 1st. And the early bird special ends April 10th. So if you're interested in that course, there are only 4 spots left. You can check it out on my website at melissawest.com. So thank you to Squeezed Yoga Clothing for providing us with the clothes for our show. I have new clothes for spring, and they're available on the website now at squeeze.ca. So I'm wearing a fern top with matching fern capri bottoms. And also thank you to Dusky Leaf, who provide us with our mat and props for our show. And today I have a new bolster for the show, which is perfect because we're going to be doing a restorative class. The last time we did a restorative class was episode 71, and so 100 classes later, we thought we'd do another restorative class. Kind of perfect timing. We've had the flu going through our house, and so people always ask me what kind of yoga to do when you're not feeling well, and I think the best thing to do when you're not feeling well is to rest and actually take a break from yoga. But when you're on the mend, restorative classes are the best thing. And so getting this new bolster and having the flu going through our house, all roads were leading to restorative yoga this week. And also our theme for today's class of not enough, the antidote to not enough is enough. And restorative classes are all about, restorative is enough, absolutely, for your practice. So that's what we're up to today. So for today's class, you will need blocks, a bolster if you have one. If you don't have one, you can roll up a blanket and tie it together with a strap to make it look as much like a bolster as you can, and a chair. And that's what you'll need for today's class. We're going to get you started in a supported fish pose with a bolster. So let me show you what that looks like. You're going to set up your blocks like this. The tall block is going to support your head. This block is going to be in the middle of your back, and the bolster is going to be underneath your knees. So you'll rest back so this block is in the middle of your spine. This block is under your head, and then your arms are out to your side. And as you rest here, I'll share with you the theme for today's class and the start of our cultural conditioning series. Cultural conditioning is the social process in which authority figures, such as parents, teachers, politicians, religious leaders, peers, media, and advertising, define our cultural values, beliefs, and ethical systems, and ultimately the way we perceive ourselves in the world. One of the biggest beliefs going right now in our culture is the belief of not enough. In her book, Daring Greatly, Brené Brown opens her first chapter by asserting the greatest cultural influence of our time is scarcity. We have a huge belief in not enough. So fill in the blank. Never blank enough. Never good enough. Never perfect enough. Never thin enough. Never powerful enough. Never successful enough. Never smart enough. Never certain enough. Never safe enough. Never healthy enough. We think we don't have enough time or enough money. We believe we aren't good enough parents, professionally, friends, sisters, brothers, daughters, or sons. We don't think we're powerful enough, beautiful enough, or special enough. Brené Brown says, we wake up in the morning thinking we didn't get enough sleep and think we don't have enough time during the day. Then we go to bed at night and we go over all the things that we didn't have enough time to do, all the things that we didn't get done, and all the things that we didn't get during the day. The thought of not enough consumes us so fully that we don't even question it. We're like fish in the water. Brené Brown points out that in our culture, everyone is aware of lack. As yogis, we have this gift of awareness. And we might notice that our culture is externally focused for fulfillment rather than internally focused. So in a culture that's externally focused rather than internally focused, we assess and compare ourselves with media-driven celebrity versions of perfection. The Yoga Sutras say that misunderstanding comes when perception is unclear or tinted. Perception of our nature is often obscured by physical, mental, and emotional imbalances. These imbalances can promote restlessness, uneven breathing, worry, and even loss of hope. Our media and advertising has our psyche in such a state of anxiety that it is time to start questioning the values that are being fed to us. The Yoga Sutras state that, quote, these imbalances can be prevented from engaging by developing loyalty to a sacred practice. and that the yogi's heart remains pure and unaffected by its surroundings. So how exactly does this happen? It happens through a practice that I like to talk about a lot called pratyahara, encouraging your senses to draw inward through asana, yoga postures, and pranayama, breath. Also, it happens through the yamas, the moral principles for interacting with the world, which encourage us to reflect on our true nature further. So, for example, two of them that I'll get you to reflect on just now are satya, truthfulness. So, truthfulness will ask us, what is the truth? Is it true that we don't have enough? And aparigraha, which is the yama of non-hoarding, reminds us that we do have enough. We can take just what we need. So as you reflect back on these teachings this morning on not blank enough, you can see what your big buzzword is for what you fill in that blank with most. And question that. And then go ahead and set your intention for your practice this morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you're practicing, for your yoga practice over the next hour. And I would encourage you to maybe even set this sankalpa further out into your week or your month. This might be a further reaching sankalpa to question this not enough a little bit further than just the next hour. Okay, so to come out of this pose, you'll bend your knees and roll to your side. And for the next one, we're going to do a supported twist with your bolster. So you can put your blocks off to the side. And you'll put your bolster off to your left side. lie on your left side with your knees bent up on your bolster. And then you'll roll open to your right side. So let your shoulders relax heavy here. Allow your body to sink into the ground. Let your attention rest into your breath. Okay, so start to wiggle and stretch out. Going to twist to the other side. So what you're just going to do is take your bolster and bring it over to the other side. And take your knees up onto the right side now. And then open your left shoulder up. And twist your chest up towards the ceiling. Look over your left shoulder. Let your left shoulder sink into the ground. Allow yourself to exhale and drop into the ground. Let your focus relax into your breathing. Okay, and then start to gather yourself up again. And just feel and notice how even doing this very little is more than enough. Okay, so you're going to roll to your right side and bring your bolster into the middle of the mat. One thing I really like about this bolster is it has straps on both ends, so no matter where you're facing, you've always got something to hang on to. Okay, one of the best restorative yoga postures is child's pose with your bolster, so I think this goes in probably every single one of my restorative classes. And it's really simple. You just open your knees wide and you fold forward over your bolster and you turn your head to your side. And we'll spend half our time with our head to one direction, and then halfway we'll turn our head the other direction. Let yourself just sink into the bolster. Feel your breath into the back of your body. And turn your head to the other side. Okay, so you're going to slowly lift out of this posture. And we're going to bend your body, your spine into a side bend now, using the bolster. So you'll need to turn your bolster sideways. Here's where you're going to need your folded blanket, which I forgot mine, so I'm going to use a pillow. So you'll take your folded blanket and place it here. It's going to go under your head, or you can use a pillow too. And you're going to lie on the right side of your body here so that your rib cage is over the bolster. Your right shoulder is going to go like this, and then you'll fold your blanket so it supports your head. Now, this isn't high enough for my neck because my neck's really straining here. So then what you can do is raise it by putting a block under it so it supports your head enough. And then you can take your arm over. Let's see, we're gonna have legs straight, legs bent. How about bottom leg straight, top leg bent? And then really breathe into your side ribs here. We'll stay for 6 minutes here on this side. Yeah. Relax your jaw, space between your teeth. Okay, so slowly come out of this side. And you're going to roll over onto the other side. So this time the left side of your body will be on the bolster. Left side of your head will be supported. Left arm will be straight. Left leg will be straight. Right knee will be bent. Circle your right arm around and overhead, over your ear. And focus on long, slow breaths into your right rib cage. Okay, so slowly gather yourself up. And you can put your bolster and your blocks off to the side. And for the last one, you'll need your blanket and a chair. Okay, so for your last pose, this will be your Shavasana. I'm going to do legs up the chair. So if you have a hard chair, you're just going to take your blanket and place it on your chair so that you have a soft surface to put your legs on. And I'm just going to use the couch here. So if you're in your living room, you can use your couch because that'll be a nice soft surface. You'll put your hips right up against the side of your chair or your couch. Swing your legs around. And bring your legs up like that. And if you need a pillow underneath your head, you can do that. And just bring your legs, your arms to the side. And this is called a constructive rest position. And it's kind of a modified version of legs up the wall. Really very restful. We're going to finish here our class just enough. So the antidote to not enough is not abundance or more than enough. It's enough. And it's enough to do a class like this, which is really restorative for your body, to just restore energy to your body. So allow yourself to rest into your breath. And sink into the ground. So gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle and stretch out. Just notice what it was like to do just enough yoga today. Draw your knees into your chest. Roll to your right side. Make your way up to sitting. Thank you for joining me for episode 171 of Namaste Yoga, the first in our series of classes on cultural conditioning. Please leave your questions and comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback on the beginning of this series, and especially if you have any ideas for other classes in this series. If you can think of other ways that we are culturally conditioned, some of the myths that we can debunk with our series on yoga, the ways that yoga really does get at the core of our cultural conditioning and really debunk these myths, then leave them in the comments below and we'll do a class on them in these series. So thank you so much for leaving your comments, and I'll see you next week for episode 172. Namaste.